I think that we need to take stock of the scale of the challenge that we collectively are facing and the kind of challenge that Western liberal democracy and the liberal international order are facing at the same time. You know, even as I was thinking about this panel, thinking about the title, Populism versus Globalism, I reacted to the word globalist because it's so often used as an epithet by right-wing nationalists to denigrate people who believe in the value of an open and rules-based international order. And I think one of the things that we all need to be clear on is that and it should be clear by now, that we face an ideological adversary. And that it's a transnational one with links. And, you know, Matt's report talks a lot about the various different movements in Europe and connections between them. I'm particularly interested in these connections. If you think about the fact that the Slovenian leader was elected in part with the help of Viktor Orban, who campaigned for him. If you think about the various different sources of financing for these movements and these leaders, you think about the media organizations that are supporting them. You think about the fact that Steve Bannon, since he left the White House, has spent most of his time, it seems, in Europe. Not a coincidence. Even recently, the U.S. ambassador to Germany, Richard Grenell, saying that he aspires to help empower or aid conservative right-wing conservative leaders in Europe. So, you know, this is and it's all being aided and abetted by Russian propaganda and by Russian active measures. Now, I don't want to paint the picture of a kind of conspiracy, but in a sense, we have to recognize the size and the transnational character of the problem that we're facing in order to be able to address it directly. And it is a contest, I think. It's a contest that we're fighting here in Canada. It's a contest taking place, and the contest is for the support of the publics in Western countries. And we can win that contest by showing that government works for people, by exposing the bankruptcy of the policies, quote-unquote, solutions that are being flogged by some of these movements and actors, and by building the kinds of networks across progressive movements that we need to be building transnationally, at home, internationally. And finally, I think, and you mentioned this in your report, I think it's a critical point, that this kind of progressive politics can't just be a kind of technical set of technical solutions to a set of, you know, economic problems that we're facing. We need technical solutions to enormous problems. This has to be an emotional politics. We can't cede the battlefield to these darker forces. Can't assume that the emotion of politics will be on the populist side and we're going to be the kind of Obama rational executors. You know, we need to have, there's no reason why patriotism can't be a patriotism rooted in liberal values, openness. And, so we need a lot more of that.